Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racers Driving League for Season 15, round number 22, the penultimate round of the season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at the iconic Yas Marina circuit. I'm your host, Zach Rossi, bringing you all the action from tonight's race, and alongside me, as usual, is Season 11 champion and multiple-time Monaco winner. It is Touchy Pope, who I've beaten to stay in Monaco this week. How you doing, mate?
Wow, yeah, you've absolutely got in there as quickly as possible. So thank you for mentioning my Season 15 Monaco race win. But I'm very good, mate. Very excited to be here in Abu Dhabi. Fantastic track after its layout change. I did personally prefer to drive the old layout. However, this layout is just as fun. And yeah, I'm excited to see what these drivers could do. A lot of drivers already bouncing out on track straight away. Gonna have to keep an eye on the tyre temperatures, I think, at this race. That'll be crucial for these drivers.
Definitely, of course. I mentioned RDL champion, former Monaco winner, but that's not the only thing you are tonight, Pope. Tonight you are also our pre-race entertainment. Do you want to explain what's going on there?
Yep, so I have created a song based on the Miley Cyrus hit Party in the USA. As you can probably guess, it's Party in the UAE. So we'll be singing that between the race, between qualifying and the race. So hopefully you guys are going to tune into, as the described, 5-star earache by JB.
Fantastic. Of course, this is, unfortunately for us, your last week commentating with us this season. You'll be here for the reverse grid finale next week. We'll be looking forward to watching back the stream once we're all done.
Yeah, no, I will be there watching, probably away. I'm having to move, so I don't really have the clean sweep of getting into the commentary booth that week.
Well, so you make some, you don't quite make other ones. I'm looking at Cot 5 on the racetrack, coming to the last corner. Do you want to take us on a lap around Abu Dhabi, your last qualifying voiceover of the season?
Yeah, it would be my pleasure. Cot 5, a fantastic driver who's been on immense form so far at the start of his RDL career. Going into turn 1, you want to use all the track, just like Cot does, to try and get the best exit as possible. Round here, you want to go over these curves, something that I highlighted early on in Cot's RDL career. The ability to ride over these curves, unlike any other driver, will pay a huge advantage through here. Going in at the end of sector 1, very short sector now. Going to sector 2, this left-hander is absolutely fantastic. And sector 2 is built up of 2 big straights, fantastic overtaking opportunities. But it does play the question of, is it worth overtaking down this straight that we see Cot 5 going down now? To just get penultimate overtaken by the other one, something that drivers will have to figure out. Going into the chicane here, very heavy braking. And you have to swing the car through. The car can get quite unsettled. And as I was saying about the track, temperature's going to be high, the tyre temperature will be high, the tyres will start sliding through there. Later on in the race will be something to keep an eye out on. The sweeping left-hander at the start of sector 3 is fantastic. Very hard to nail. Multiple different lines drivers can take. It'd be clever to see how the drivers will defend from each other through that corner. And then going through the track, which is pretty much stayed the same through the iterations of Abu Dhabi, just some changes to the banking and the whiffs of the corners through here. You want to keep the momentum flowing through there. It doesn't matter about how fast you feel, it's about just keeping the car going. It's very easy to lose the back end. Going through the final corner here, going for a straight line, not a very short one to the start-finish line, and that hits us with a 121.922, nearly a second faster than that Imri. Fantastic lap there by Cot. Yeah, fantastic lap time there by Connor. It'd be great to see what he could do on his debut. Obviously, the Aston Martin team has picked up in a rich vein of form since the introduction of Cott and Slazenger, so hopefully the momentum will be with Connor as well. That would be fantastic. I think Websy, I've been saying it throughout the season, has been utterly fantastic. How Williams have turned around their season with, especially, obviously we have to mention Websy, who is the championship contender. Didn't think I'd be saying that this season. And he was also done very well this season. It'll be very interesting to see what Websy in particular can do today. Really needing to maximise those points. It'll be hard with the vein of form that Cott is on, and obviously Grovey, who's put herself in P3 currently. It'd be very interesting to see what Websy can do, but for Websy, you need to make sure that you're ahead of the other Mercedes, because BJ will be defending very, very hard to help his teammate this season to get C110P fan, who could also win the championship as well. So both people going into Brazil, hopefully, will have a chance at winning their first championship. I remember doing that in season 11.
And he's brought up his heritage once again, as Pope Solo loves to do. I realised I've been muted for the last minute or so that's absolutely fantastic, because I muted myself to allow you to do your voiceover on the lap without my PC were in the background. So I'm not sure if the stream picks it up, but I get conscious about it at certain times. So that's that. And we'll carry on with qualifying here, as you say. Perhaps we could be looking at BJ looking to pose some form of threat to Websy on the racetrack. Obviously not in a sense of trying to take him out, but of course trying to stop him on getting around him in order to allow his teammate who's not here tonight to pick up points for what could be his first RDL championship tonight. But of course, anything that is said on stream tonight is provisional until the stewards have their verdicts, which normally comes out sort of midweek sort of time. So should there be any change in the championship result after tonight, then of course I will let you know in the community tab on my channel, and we'll see next week if they go toe-to-toe in Brazil.
I hope they do. I really, really hope they do.
So do
I think it'd be very, very, very good watch. And obviously Brazil's such a fantastic track to end the season at. So it'll be interesting. One thing that is interesting is the medium tyres being used in qualifying. Now, if you've been part of the Zach RC channel for quite a while, you'll know in 2021, the mediums and myself got on very, very well.
The ultimate strategy.
We spent a lot of time together. Yeah, that was...
Flashbacks.
Yeah, that was peak Pope, I'd say, and
It was.
It's good to see the medium tyres being used in qualifying, especially around such a warm circuit that is Abu Dhabi. Seeing Nicholas placing himself in P4, who has been outstanding in qualifying in particular this season. So obviously the soft tyres will be faster over one lap, but it's very nice to see the medium tyres be used in qualifying.
Definitely, and normally, especially in qualifying, we've had Fan here over the course of the last few seasons or so, who goes out on that first run on the mediums regardless of circuit. Or unless it's wet, of course, and then goes on for a run on the soft. So we never get too disheartened at Fan's first run, because we know he'll come back to us later in the session and try and put himself higher on the timing boards. I see Grovey and Imri out on the racetrack right now. Imri on his next timed lap on a fresh set of soft tyres. Sits P5 at the moment. He was telling me before qualifying started that he felt confident tonight. He felt his pace was strong. We'll have to see if things go together tonight for him, because unfortunately, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, it just hasn't really clicked for him in the RDL so far.
No, yeah, it's as harsh as it might sound, it's been a poor season for Embry. Obviously mistakes, but the pace has been there. We've seen the pace. It's just getting the racecraft, getting that the whole strategy to work out for Embry. It's just really not worked. So I feel like Embry's got a real big shot here now. The attention on these drivers to choose their teammates, which we are having teammates chosen as of now, and then obviously the teams draw will be happening quite soon. So these teams want to make sure they get the driver who will get them points and get them finishers in particular to be heading in their car. So Emery really needs to show off in these last two races. It nearly worked out in Las Vegas, where he was leading going into the last 5 laps. However, a mistake in his strategy made it fall down.
Well, he's certainly done a good job trying to redeem himself. He's just improved his time there to go second place, 1 minute 22.3. 4/10 off Cott's first time, which is still unbeaten. And Grovey here going through sector 1 on her next timed run, so we'll see how she gets on as well. Sixth place last week after penalties. But all in all, a very crazy race in Las Vegas, which saw, if I remember correctly, Poke, three or four cars finishing the race with 0 front wing and trying to play out the last few laps with no wing. Such is the level of downforce of Vegas.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race, and it was probably my favourite race of the season to commentate on. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what Grovey in particular could do, because I believe she's not finished outside the top 6 so far in her RDL career since Singapore.
I believe she finished a bit lower. I think she finished down, 8th that week. We weren't here when we did when it was Kota.
Oh, in Qatar, yeah.
No, not Kota.
Not Kota.
You weren't there for
Yeah,
Qatar. I wasn't. We
yeah.
weren't there for Kota. You.
Yes, I do remember. So one finish outside the top 6 is remarkable. The consistency is fantastic. So Grovey's going to be a kind of a big star going into next season. It'll be interesting to see where she can compete in the championship, but we'll see where she can compete on the timing board as she comes through the final corner right about now. Let's have a look at where
Oh,
let's
that's close.
go.
She saved it, but that might be the end of her time. Look how close she was to improving in the end, and that little skid might have brought about the end of her efforts.
Yeah, it's a shame that for Grovey. I think losing probably around 3/10 just in that skid. That shows you how hot these tyres are getting. If you have a look on the dashboard of the car, it's looking like 104 degrees, which is crazy warm. Crazy warm.
Well, the drivers are talking about overheating to me before we got underway tonight, so we could be looking at potentially issues with tyre temperatures and just trying to keep them cool in obviously one of the Middle Eastern countries where the high temperatures circuit like Abu Dhabi is very, very crucial to performance. So well, I have to keep an eye on these guys. We have to keep an eye on the dashes, on the steering wheel to see if we can actually catch whereabouts they're putting in temperatures. Yeah, you can sort of see it on the dash right there on that camera angle as Grovey goes down the back straight towards turn number 9. We'll see where she emerged on the split this time round. She's 1.7 down, but I think she's pretty backed off for this one. Connor's improving at the end of the first sector.
Someone who's not backed off though is Websy.
Oh,
going to come across the line to finish his first lap.
7th.
Ahead of BJP 7.
It's
where he needs to be to keep it into it as long as he gets the fastest lap in the race. But he does need that little bit more. Can we see that happen in the race? Obviously Websy is, I don't think you disagree with this, far better in the race when he is in qualifying. His racecraft is unbeatable.
Definitely, I have to agree with you, Pope. Second place last week in Vegas, coming home narrowly in front of a jubilant PJ Khaled, who finished on the podium once again. He had a number of impressive podiums this season. Runs 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. He's definitely been one of the sort of unsung heroes almost of this season, doing such a good job in that McLaren, despite them sitting 8th place in the Constructors' Championship. He's up there in 6th in the Drivers, and only 15 points off BJ, it has to be said.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention, I think it was the final PJ, every race he's finished has been in the points this season.
Really?
I think, and that is every single race. I don't think PJ's retired this season. So it shows you the consistency that
retired yet, yes. That's indeed correct.
The consistency PJ has is just unbelievable, and I think that's something that's really shown this season. It's about consistency more than just outright pace, and obviously with the likes of Grumio, who is just constantly on the pace, as soon as that consistency's gone, it's allowing new contenders to come into the mix. So something to keep an eye out for next season, I do have to say.
We've certainly seen a changing of the guard, it has to be said, over the course of this season, with the absence of Grumio in certain parts of the season. Of course, he's taken 3 wins, so this season isn't a complete bust for him in that respect. But obviously, he has to take into account exterior factors that isn't really the fault of anyone in that respect. But yeah, so Grumio obviously not being here for a bit, and then looking at it also, Landlord's absence this season as a full-time driver, of course, ending his full-time RDL career in Brazil last season on that gut-wrenching final lap. I don't think you were here for in the Empo. We had to leave a few laps early, but that combination of factors has opened things up. And of course, early on it was, of course, Fam won the first race, but from then on, Sniper took the lead for a bit. The Alpines were in control with TJ, who was fighting Sniper for those places. Sniper won 2 or 3 on the bounce, and then since Silverstone, his form hasn't really picked up, and it turned in the favour of Fan, Websy, BJ, drivers like that, and obviously Curtis up there at the start of the season, and he's still 7th in the championship, has potential to finish as high as 5th if he wants to, perhaps even 4th. It was 4th might be a bit out of his favour. I don't know. Regardless, though, we've seen a large number of points distributed amongst many different drivers, most of whom who joined the league in the second half of the season. Of course, looking at drivers, say for example, like Nicholas, like Cott, like Grovey, like Imrie, drivers like that who have come in and completely shook up the ranks over the course of the season. Nicholas in 2nd place now, looking at that fantastic time there, second, 1 minute 22.109. But regardless, though, looking at it, there's been a number of fantastic drivers who have just come in here, completely shaking up the order, and it makes you think that next season is going to be absolute entertainment, unless, of course, Grumio comes back and sweeps everyone aside en route to perhaps the 7th RDL Championship. Next season is going to be intense, but we've still got a race here to do tonight and a race next week in Brazil. So nothing's over yet, but the future's looking bright for this league. I'll say that right now.
Yeah, I think that's something I'm very excited for. Is obviously I'm excited for the end of the season and to see who will actually claim their first Drivers' Championship. It's so exciting to have the pleasure to have commentated on this season and that to be the outcome. But definitely next season. Next season's going to be fantastic, and maybe even a return of Pope in a reserve role as well as commentary later on. Maybe, just maybe, that could happen. You never know. Obviously at the start of the seasons, Christmas, we've finished Christmas, New Year's is there, so Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what can happen next season. There's going to be a lot of surprises.
I have one condition on you leaving the commentary box, Pope. For any reason, and you are disallowed from doing Monaco, you must commentate at least one, man. You've got to suffer as I have, okay? Please. That's all I ask.
Maybe, but I don't know. I've got an attraction to that track.
There'll be a bit of chocolate in there for you. Come on.
Ooh, now let's speak about language.
2 minutes to go in the qualifying session. We'll continue negotiations off stream where no one else can see them. JB on his first time here. Of course, 300th Grand Prix start in the RDL last week. Finished in a very respectable 5th place. And Grand Prix 301, he comes through to claim P11 in the order. But he's still got time for another lap here. We are looking at those final runs, Pope. And I think Cott will still be the one to beat, despite how close Nicholas has come. He's on one final run. And Chase crept up to 3rd out of nowhere. Imrie still in 4th. Connor 5th. Grovey in 6th. Curtis 7th. Websy still in 8th. In front of BJ, though, who's in 9th. And PJ in 10th. There's JB, Ethan, Arsenal fan, who is the same driver, who's Pogorians. Oh, JB is out. He's retired the car.
He's retired on track because he won't get round for another lap.
Okay.
Had no ERS and I think a little too little fuel. So a bit unfortunate for Ferrari, who did extremely well, I do have to say, at Las Vegas last week.
Definitely an enjoyable result for them. They 7th in the Constructors' Championship, the latest team to be swept aside by Aston Martin's recent run. Imrie into pit lane, he's P5 now, as Connor goes 2nd fastest, and that's the closest anyone's come to matching Cott. He's a 10th off of them, and narrowly in front of Nicholas, who starts his last lap now. Connor's making
Nicholas is going to be the ones to watch, but it shows you a revitalisation of Aston Martin's form and the drivers that Aston Martin have in their team, which is Connor, Slesinger and Cott. It's been fantastic for them, so very, very impressed by that lap time. And Nicholas sliding through that left-hander there. It's not looking good. I think he's going to probably have to back off of that lap. I'm not too sure, but I don't feel like he'll improve. Now, Grovey's P4 and out. Che's probably now in the best chance to beat Cott, but
Nicholas has jammed it into the wall.
Yeah, absolute barrel down there, and you see Cott is improved by a 10th at the end of sector 1, so... Oh!
Around he goes!
Commentator's courtesy gone round, so
what have you done?
Now leaves it up to Che. He's down on his lap time, currently. Just by half a 10th. Can he improve?
He's down by a quarter of a second now,
I don't
so
think
that's
so.
Probably it. We'll keep an eye out. Websy's invalidated, so he can't start any higher than 8th place. BJ, we're looking at potentially moving in front of his teammate's rival, as the second flag falls in the session here. So Cott or chances are will not improve his time. Connor will definitely not improve his time. But it's looking like a front row lockout for Aston Martin here, as Che barrels into the last 2 corners but pulls it into the pit lane here. His lap is over. Curtis is on his way through. He'll be the next guy in terms of orders across the line. Curtis about half a 10th up on his previous effort. Next car through on a time will be the McLaren of PJ Khaled, who sits P10 right now, 1 spot up and 6,000 of a second up on his teammate Ethan in P11. So we'll see PJ come through to the line here, and behind him is Curtis, then BJ, then the 2 Williams cars of Websy and Courtney Goblin. Che retiring.
BJ is
7th.
up on his time as well, so let's see where BJ can put it on the grid. P7,
ooh,
beating him up the PJ.
And beating Websy too, crucially.
Yeah, Websy's had the edge of the points currently. I'd have no doubt he'll be able to pull it back in a race, but right now it's not looking that strong for Williams. Don't seem like a very strong track for the team. Oh my lord. Doesn't look like a very strong track for the team. Bloody hell.
Took you a second to get those words out, but that'll be the end of qualifying. Then Cott is on pole position, and it'll be Aston Martin. The 2 green machines will lead the field on that very short run to turn number 1. And we've got 29 laps of racing ahead of us.
I am thoroughly excited to see these 29 laps, which I'm sure will go by in a flash looking at the lap times.
Well then, we'll look for your top 5 in qualifying, but I think it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for to get us underway with your pre-race entertainment this season, and your Pope singing a song. But first, your top 5, Cott, Connor, Nicholas, Grovey and Che in the Haas. I'll go through the top 10. Imrie, BJ, PJ, Curtis and Websy rounds out the top 10 in your starting order. So that will be qualifying. I will now turn it over to my co-commentator, Touchy Pope, to sing Party in the UAE. Pope, take it away.
My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. Popped off the blade at AUH with a dream in my helmet. Welcome to the land of Fame XX. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab and I hear him for the first time. Looked at the ramp and I see the Yas Marina. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. When a taxi man turned on the radio and my Monaco win was on. And my Monaco win was on. And my Monaco win was on. So I put my hands up. They're playing my win. The butterflies fly away. I'm nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. I got my hands up. They're playing my song. They know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a party in the UAE. Yeah, it's a party in the UAE. The club, my taxi cab, everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? He's gotta be from out of town. So hard when my guy's not around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party, cause I'll see a sled. Oh, I guess I never get the memo where it dunks. My tummy's turning, I'm kind of feeling homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. And that's when the DJ dropped my favourite tune, and my championship win was on. And my championship was on. And my championship win was on. So I put my hands up, they're playing my song. The butterflies fly away. I'm nodding my head like yeah. Moving my hips like yeah. I got my hands up, they're playing my song. They know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a party in the UAE. Yeah, it's a party in the UAE. Thank you very much, guys.
And there we have it. That was questionable, but it always is. And this is the Racist Driving League, where our commentator this season is a Monaco winner who also sings really, really poorly into a mic that must be so beat up by this stage by his awful singing. And JB is going to kill me for even bringing this up ever again. And with that in mind, we are just in time, ladies and gentlemen, for the start of the race, which I'm sure you guys were also kind of here for, but mainly for Pope singing. I'm seeing JB in the Discord saying, ouch my ears, so I think, Pope, you did a good job.
I know that's the whole thing, is to annoy Bracer. To a point of where his ears hurt. But yeah, no, I'm very excited now for the race. Got my energy up. And crazy enough, I've not had any alcohol to sing that, so that shows you where my morals lie.
Are you telling us you needed alcohol last time to sing Robin Williams' Angels?
No, that happens on a regular basis.
I see. Well then, we're just in time then for the start of the formation lap, so we'll move away from that sort of talk now. And so, starting on pole position is Cop 5, who's coming to his ideal career spectacularly. A bit of a dip off in form last time in Vegas. We're looking to turn that one around tonight. And his teammate, the debuting F1 Connor, in tonight as reserve, looking to kick off his ideal career with a bright start. Nicholas Mayer lines up third place. Fantastic qualifying from him. Sits 10th place in the Drivers' Championship, tied with the absent Slazenger of Volvo, so could move into 9th with a point scoring finish today. Grovey starts in 4th on high form, as she has been in the last 6 races or so since her debut in Singapore, so looking to carry that on. Could it be another podium in the bag tonight? We'll have to wait and see. Che lines up in 5th place, looking to continue on and get himself rolling again to close off the season. Imri in 6th place, looking to bring it all together in tonight's race and get himself a high finish as usual. Hopefully tonight will be the night where it all clicks for him so he can push towards season 16. BJ starts in 7th. They'll be hoping to keep Websy behind him for as long as he can. PJ, after a podium in Vegas, lines up 8th. Curtis lines up in 9th place, looking to close the gap to PJ in the championship, the car just in front of him. And Websy, who needs either 6th place or 7th with the fastest lap in order to keep the championship rolling on to the final round in Brazil next week. Ethan lines up in 11th. JB, Grand Prix start number 301 in 12th. Connie Goblin 13th, disqualified from the formation lap. Arsenal fan, formerly Pergorians, in 14th. And then behind him, it's the reserving Landlord and the Red Bull of Dan, who retired very early on in the session. I'm not sure if he's got a qualifying ban, Pope. We might not verify that before we get going.
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself, but one thing I am looking at is that hard tyres making a dominant return to the starting grid. This is fantastic to see. No soft tyres. Obviously, the drivers believe in that there's a huge gap, I do have to say, between F1 Connor and Cart 5, which might have to get looked into, because I do believe that's against the regulations of a formation lap. However, hard tyres going to be the race tyre, probably pitting around lap 17 to 18. So it will be key to see that time of the race. But we've been having a lot of safety cars recently. Will that shake anyone's strategy up? We'll have to wait and see.
One thing I noticed about in particular is that on the last game, on the first lap in Abu Dhabi, what always happened was the camera would stay here on the main straight and sort of follow around and wouldn't move. I'm hoping they've fixed that this time around as Dan takes the last spot on the grid. The RDL Season 15 Championship could be decided tonight if Websy does not finish any higher than 7th place. And we're waiting now for the lights to get underway for the 22nd round of the season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here at the Yas Marina circuit. Where are the lights? What's going on?
We are still waiting for this man in the back, waving that green flag. We're ready to go. Guys, we had an issue with a safety car last time out. Could this be an issue because my awful singing has broken the lights? We'll have to wait and see.
Hopefully not, because otherwise then we'll never get a reason to do this ever again. What is happening? This game is fantastic. Wouldn't you agree? There's a patch today, ladies and gentlemen, if you hadn't installed it yet. And I'm assuming that this is the result. They were patching us starting in Abu Dhabi. So we'll give it a second, but we're maybe looking at a restart potentially, should this issue persist. In which case, Pope, I'm sure we'll find something to discuss in the break in between.
Oh yeah, we have a lot to discuss. Yeah. We could discuss about my strategy of winning Monaco in season 15 if you would like.
We could also not do that because we discussed that enough.
Oh, I've not gone into depth with it though. I've not talked about my entire strategy, but yeah, this is very different. So do you want to play Give Him I Spy? Go on. I spy with my little eye something beginning with S.
Is it? Is it? Okay. I don't know. Is it Safer Barrier? I don't know.
No.
Is it Starting Lights?
No, because they're not on, so no.
Okay, my turn. I spy with my little eye somewhere beginning with D.
Daniel Aaron.
No, it's disconnecting because we're doing a lobby restart.
Fantastic. That's a great one.
Thank
Fantastic
you.
one.
Okay, we'll go to intermission then, and me and Pope will discuss things. We're back into the moment. Welcome back then. We are not quite underway just yet. Apologies for the intermission. But we're getting things sorted, so we should be back underway in a few minutes' time without any issues. But me and Pope, this is a rarity. Normally we just keep quiet in the breaks between these when they happen. Happens a lot at the start of the season, but not so much now. But I think this time we'll do something different. But me and Pope are just going to discuss something. I mean, he tried playing I Spy in in the broken lobby a minute ago. So
That was quite. Yeah, I was quite enjoying that.
and it's a shame because we can't do that sort of thing over a Discord call, which is quite annoying to be honest. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing about like issues like this. Obviously, there's no fault of anyone but REA in the game itself, but I think it harks back to what we were talking about earlier in the season. Has it actually been that effective, the transition from co-masters solely developing the games to EA? You'd expect so much more funding, which they do have so much more funding, but I don't think the rewards have been seen as of yet.
I suppose more funding comes with more control over. Cause I'm assuming EA have some level of creative control over what they're actually producing. Because they have the whole thing split into two teams working. So one team's working on the even numbered games, and one is working on the odd numbered games. And obviously, that team is working on or has been working on Breaking Point in recent years.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's just bizarre. Like, I expected so much more, to be honest.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I
pleased
just don't
with
think
it so far. To be fair, I'm mostly pleased with it.
I mean, obviously it's a bit different because I've barely drove it and I've only really commentated on it.
Good.
So, it's different, but I don't know. I still harp back to. I think 2021 was fantastic. I get so much disrespect on that game. I think it was great.
I know. Yeah,
Everything worked on it.
Also, you
It
need
wasn't
to
that
press Y, man,
okay.
to spectate.
Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me.
He wants to-
But yeah, I just don't know. I just think there's a huge disconnect now currently between the games that we're getting produced, and it makes. If I was
yeah.
head of iRacing and stuff, I'd be trying to develop a console port or something like that, because Assetto Corsa, obviously, it's a bit. Oh, it's a harder game to master compared to the F1 games, which are consumer idealized. But I feel like if I was iRacing, these drivers currently in the grid, I know myself, I'd happily make that switch. Obviously, at a reduced price point compared to the PC version, because
Trust me,
you
the
obviously have
PC
limitations.
amount of money I've poured into that so far.
Exactly, like.
It's good money, though, to be fair.
But-
I've enjoyed the investment. It's been a year or so.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I think we need something that is on that level. I think that would benefit league racing as well, hugely. Obviously, the F1 game's great because it's all licensed. It's all.
All singing, all
It
dancing.
all-
Oh, well, at least
Yeah, it's all got the flashy lights, but it doesn't have the plug socket to put the flashy lights into.
That's a decent way. Or rather, it does have the plugs and stuff, but the socket's a bit faulty. 'Cause
Yeah,
sometimes
that too.
It's like when you plug. It's like when your phone charge only works like a certain angle.
Yeah, but that's what mine does. It's pain in the bottom.
Honestly, we need a podcast, man. Because this is what needs to happen.
Oh, our podcast would be fantastic.
The amount
yeah,
of commentators
I'd-
I've been with and said we need to do podcasts with them is insane.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that. I've also got parcel waiting for me downstairs at my reception, and I don't even know what I've ordered, which is quite concerning.
Oh. Maybe it's
Let me check my Amazon. I'm going to check my Amazon delivery because if you don't know, I'm hosting. Well, the flat is hosting a Christmas meal, which is why I can't be here.
Oh, sorry, no, I sent you
next
a
week.
pipe bomb in the mail. So I'm not going to receive that.
Well, I thought it'd be the chocolate bar you promised me, but
I don't
That's
know. It could be one of the two, to be honest. I forget what I sent.
huh. So all my Amazon things have been delivered,
Go on.
but I don't know what else I've ordered.
You got to think
This
back,
is
man. Or if you
I'm really trying. I mean, I do have a brand new Sophie Alice Baxter flag, which is in my room, but that's the only other thing I thought I ordered. So, hey ho, we might get something free from Amazon, you never know.
or again the pipe bomb I sent you.
Or that, but I'm gonna hope it's not that.
It's alright. No, it's alright. It's not meant to go off. It's just for display. I wouldn't do that to you.
Just for display, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm really concerned what it is, though. I'm not ordering any clothes. I'm not.
Is it part for your wheel for your sim rig perhaps, or for the wheel?
No, that would go back home.
True.
Oh, this is really baffled me. I mean, I hope you guys are enjoying the game of what has Pope ordered.
There's been a lot of post stuff so far tonight, and I gotta say I appreciate it.
I mean, it's just one of those. We have to find something to talk about, and I'm a certified yapper, so that's why they put me in the commentary booth.
Fair enough. Although, in fairness, you did have to be almost dragged kicking and screaming into the commentary box. Very Martin Brundle-esque, but Martin Brundle was actually a better driver, statistically.
Whoa, not a chance.
Not a chance.
Did Martin Brundle win the IDL Championship? No.
No, but he
didn't
win Monaco either. No, yeah, I'm saying you're better than Brundle, not you're not.
Oh right, thank God.
Be nice to you, man. Not everything is an insult. Although that is what I go for most.
I'd say that. I don't know. We'll figure it out when I go downstairs tonight.
You don't know a lot of things, Pope. Anyway, moving swiftly along. So we'll be using broadcast formation up this time round, and we won't go through the line because we've already done that a few minutes ago. So if you have just joined us, apologies for the delay. It's not normally like this, but this is the state of play tonight. And a reminder, of course, those of you who have just joined us about our championship potentially being decided tonight. Again, Websy sits in second, 33 points behind Fam with 2 races to go. Websy needs either 6th place or 7th plus the fastest lap to take it into the finale. And Pope, as you won't be here next week, I want to get your honest opinion. Who do you think will win the Racers Driving League Season 15 World Drivers' Championship?
Why did you have to ask me that question? My heart wants to say Websy because I've backed him so much this season and I think he's done a fantastic job. However, I feel the points just go into fans' favour, and there's no disrespect to fan at all because fans done utterly fantastic this season and really performed when necessary. So I do think it will be fun, just because the point sways way, but I don't think you can never say never.
Well, it could be tonight. You never know. Fan could come back from wherever he's doing tonight and find out that he is RDL champion. So we'll have to wait and see. That'd be quite a nice surprise to come home to. But of course, Websy will be doing everything in his power to try and gain those 3 or 4 places that he needs. He starts P10 for the race, and there is your pulsar to Cop 5, who will lead in all Aston Martin front row to the first corner. Of course, the Green Machines have been on an absolute run of form. That their stride has been leaps and bounds clear of the rest of the field, and they have a chance to finish as high as 4th in the Constructors' Championship. It could happen, but with the absence of Slazenger this time around, that Cotton needs to bring home the bacon in order to finish the job and get them up as high as they can, as well as hoping that Williams and Red Bull step up.
Yep, I mean, it's for Red Bull, it's not looking great. Obviously, Grovey in a fantastic position, but down at the back of the grid will have to have a recovery drive in this race. So hopefully the lights will go out this time around.
Here we go. Round 22, the penultimate race of the Racers Driving League Season 15 is about to get underway as we leave the grid in Abu Dhabi. Good getaway from both Astons going towards that first corner. Nicholas going to try and dive into the middle. A bit of contact between him and Connor. Very light taps to go into that first corner. Connor gets away the lead. Connor into second. And the thing is doing the exact things he did last game. Connor is ghosting for some reason. We're sticking to T-cams for this first lap because the cameras in Abu Dhabi still don't work after a year or so. Connor is all over the shop here. And I think he's almost spinning the car. I've got no clue what is going on around the rest of the order. I'm sort of trying to stroll through to get everyone going as best I can here. Imri and Grovey, slight wheel bang in there as they go down towards the left hand of turn number 6. As they go into the braking zone, it looks like Connor trying to go around the outside of Nicholas here, who's got 2nd place, and we'll start looking to chase down Cott, who's a couple tenths in front already. Curtis taking PJ for 8th. You see Alalo taking Courtney Goblin for 13th. He's got 2 places. Websy's up a spot as well. Keep an eye on Websy here as he makes his way through, going towards the left-hander of turn number 9. Curtis in front of him. See a 7 battles going on in front. BJ in 7th place right now, staying the same with his starting position. Grovey chasing down Imri, and Connor in 3rd. Nicholas 2nd, and Cott will lead them back around. And there is your perfect image of the start line here, because the camera is on this game at Abu Dhabi in a spectating an online race. Still, after a year, haven't been fixed. Despicable.
Yeah, it's horrific, but it brings what we were saying in the intermission back to light. But it doesn't matter now because we can see these cars barreling towards turn 1 by that stationary camera. Hopefully this will all be fixed now.
Oh, yeah, it was on the first lap. It does. Then the rest of the time it should work just fine. I'm hoping it does. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Right, Nicholas is on the move.
There we are. Thank the Lord. That would have been a very hard race to commentate on if it did win. But see Websy defending from Curtis. Now this is fantastic. Obviously DRS is going to play a huge part in this race with the 2 long straights. creating fantastic overtaking opportunities. So will be crucial to see going on to the next lap where the cars are positioned. But someone who's not had a great start so far is Dan, who is back in the grid, just coming out the exit of the pit lane. So very, very far behind for the rest of the field. And quite frankly, unless the safety car is out of this race already.
Unfortunate to see. I remember we had one or two safety cars in this race last season on F1 22, so he'll be hoping for more of the same this time around. Websy has been passed again by Curtis, so we're looking to try and get back around him as quickly as he can. Remember, he needs 2 more spots, plus the fastest lap right now, if not just getting 3 places. That 6th spot he needs is currently held by Che in the Haas. Grovey just in front of him 5th, and there's a top 5 train here. Cott is really holding up the pack here. Nicholas in 2nd, in Imri now into 3rd place. Imri looking at the podium as Nicholas and Cott Polloy once again. These two have been really scrapping at it the last couple of rounds or so when close together on the racetrack. These two are very evenly matched on their days, and so Nicholas could give Cott a good go for the leaders and be in lap 3.
Yeah, Imri going to be using the advantage of those medium tyres to full effect, especially around here. So we could see Imri leading the pack back around to start lap 4. But it's crucial to remember that Connor, since reserve, will not be scoring any points today.
Oh, yellow flag.
So,
and that is Curtis around. Oh, Curtis off in the wall.
And it's Websy as well.
Websy as well.
Championship contender.
And a 5-second penalty
it's
too.
In P14. That's
Plus
not looking good.
wing.
It's a virtual safety car
Oh, no, full safety car. There's a full one on the track.
Full safety car, yeah. Wow.
And that'll be a lifeline for Websy there, who will have a chance to get back in this race. Curtis, broken front wing, and that'll also be helpful for Dan, who shouldn't go a lap behind here. He's about half a lap back as it stands now. And the safety car should let him go. I think he'll make it to the exit before the safety car. But a 5-second penalty there. I think I'm going to say for collision with JB. If I look at the race directions just quickly. Yes,
yeah,
collision
with JB.
Landlord and Websy getting collisions with JB. So both of them receiving penalties there. So Websy in trouble then. But he should be able to serve that in the pits, surely, no?
Yeah, it will be served that in the pits, and this is where my rules knowledge isn't great. I still do believe that the 5-second timeout can be removed. I'm not too sure though.
I think it can. I think all the penalties except for track limits can be taken off.
Track limits can be removed as well.
Track limits if it's 5 for corner cutting. If it's exceeded track limits, then
yeah.
No.
Oh,
if
exceeded.
It's 3 seconds,
yeah.
it can't be taken. Oh.
Yeah, it's got
but that's the
a lot of different rules here.
Number of different rules, each of them more confusing than the last. Such is the state of Formula 1, and thus the game might reflect that. Lowland's a P10 then, but obviously has that damage from the collision, so has to come into the pit lane for the first time today. On a fresh, he's on a set of hard tyres here, Pope. If you're on the hards and you're in this situation, not the best place to be in at all here. Websy into the pit lane as well. Curtis is coming in. Well, these guys are going to make the change onto mediums a bit earlier than they thought, so people looking at a 2-stop and banking on another safety car.
So, looking at what the strategy was saying, it was saying about 14 to 15 laps on those medium tyres, meaning that if they preserve these tyres, don't get into too much fighting, they could take the mediums the entire way and hope that a late safety car where they can pit onto the soft tyres if necessary, or even another pair of medium tyres. It's not all out for these drivers pitting now. If the safety car was in a few more laps, it would be even better for them, but I think that's where most of the field will be.
Fair enough. Of course, the change, the difference between the mediums and the hard tyres on a track like this isn't too vast. So Cott leads then from Nicholas and then Imri in 3rd place. As it stands right now, C110P fan will be your driver's champion in about an hour's time. Once things stay how they are. Websy needing, as it stands right now, needs 10 places in order to take the championship to the final round.
Yeah, I think it's going to be looking C110P fans' way, especially right now. But remember, we do have 2 reserve drivers who will not be scoring points, as well as I said before the incident. It does mean that Webbs is actually in P14 currently.
Definitely. So he then needs 8 more places, which could still be a lofty task, but we've seen him come through the field before. Honestly, I don't remember too much of Webbs' form in Abu Dhabi in recent seasons, because it was about 6 months ago at this point. So it's been a while since we've seen some of these things, and of course that's why these races are so exciting, because we only see them but once every 6 months or so. So it's always good to see us going to different tracks each and every week, every Monday night at 7. But only from this week and then next week, because of course the season comes drawing to a close. We start lap number 5, 24 more laps to go when they next cross the line. And Curtis, Dan, Landon and Websy are all catching up now, so we should get a restart this time.
Yeah, I do believe, and anyway, it'll be the third lap of the safety car, so it'll be automatic restart no matter what.
Excellent. So, Cott will be looking to try and pull away a bit more than he did last time. Of course, Nicholas, Imrie, Connor, and Grovey all really stayed with him on the start. He couldn't quite pull away as easily as he has done in previous races where he's led away. Sometimes it takes a while for Cott to get into his groove, but once he does, he's an absolute monster.
Yeah, I think also what Cott does have the advantage of is, well, it's keeping an eye out. His ERS management is far above anyone else's, and is still able to keep them behind. I think that's something crucial that the drivers need to remember. The ERS is a great overtaking tool rather than a keep the pace up tool. You bear that in mind. It's okay to fall back a little bit as long as you can defend and overtake with the ERS rather than use it to maintain your pace.
Definitely. Looking at the chat here, looking at the Discord chat, a message from Curtis saying that he unfortunately lost the car on the curb. I'm assuming at turn 1, and I'm thinking he may have spun across the circuit and perhaps taken Webbsy with him. So Webbsy may have been a bit bad luck there. We can't say for sure, obviously, so because we didn't quite pick it up on the camera. So apologies for that. But we should be getting a restart this time once Curtis and Webbsy catch all the way up. There we go. Race control saying the safety car is in this lap. So the Aston Martin safety car pulling away. Let the Aston Martin race car get back into the lead again.
Yeah, Aston Martin's galore right here. They're playing into the advantage of Cott in a way because it has defended Cott from getting attacked by DRS. So we have to wait another 2 laps for DRS to be fully activated. So it'll be lap 8. What say?
Yeah, you're correct, mate.
Lap 8.
Nicholas will be looking to try
it's weird.
To work as well. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's weird not being in the car, figuring out when the DRS is being activated, but in the spectator it really confuses me, I do have to say.
Well, it's definitely helpful to have your insight here on most of the things in the comments box, Pope, so we do appreciate you with that. So here we go then, Cott will lead us away. Webbsy right now needs 7 places to take the championship to Brazil. 24 more laps to go, green flag goes back in the air. Cott, Nicholas, Imrie, here we go.
Yeah, because you already see Nicholas, I think, has a better straight line speed than Cott, just from that little short straight there. Something interesting to keep note on. As we see the cars barrel at the end of sector 1, this is fantastic camera angle.
Definitely, you gotta love the camera angles when they actually work at this circuit. It's always good to see. Lando passing Arsenal fan there. Take away P12, of course, Arsenal fan. For those of you who are new here, formerly Purgorians, who competed under that name the last couple of races or so, including last week at Vegas. Not the case anymore. Nicholas going for the lead here. To pull to the left, to the right side. There goes Imrie around the outside of both of them there into the corner. Cott still with him at the braking zone, but could Imrie side through and do a double overtake to go for the lead? But Cott trying to switch back, can't quite do it. Pope, Imrie's in the lead.
Yeah, fantastic move by Imrie. There's the confidence that we know that Imrie's got. It's just about translating it onto the track. Those medium tyres coming into the advantage, and the use of VRS making a fantastic move. What Imrie needs to do now is pull away as quickly as possible from these 2 squabbling cars on the hard tyres. Try and develop a little bit of a gap that will help him in the strategy battle that is here at Yas Marina.
So Webbsy making a move there on Arsenal fan for P14. So again, still needs 8 places as it stands right now. Of course, Arsenal fan and F1 Connor aren't currently eligible for points as they're only reserve drivers. So the top 10 full-time drivers in the field tonight, everyone except for those 2 cars, will receive points at the end of this Grand Prix. Imrie sets the fastest lap then, and Pope is only 4/10 by comparison. He's off like a shot compared to Nicholas, Connor, Grovey there in 5th place. Connor and Cott nose to tail. The 2 Aston Martins, you can barely tell them apart.
Yeah, I think it's going to be teamwork, really. I say that, it's a fantastic move there by Connor and Cott. Cott really conserving, I think, right now. I don't think this is the pace that we know Cott has, and I think he's just letting other drivers burn out their tyres, and yeah, I feel like Cott's got way more in the bag still.
See, Imrie and Nicholas will be going at it head-to-head for the race league. Of course, these 2 joined the league at the exact same time. Nicholas almost took a podium on debut. Imrie didn't have as much luck, and it's been the same since in that respect. But here we go. We could see these 2 Titans go toe-to-toe on the racetrack for the race lead for the first time in this league, as Cott continues to hold off Connor. He's got a huge train behind him. Connor a bit loose there through turn number 9. Could allow Grovian trying to take advantage of that. And Che lurking behind there in 6th place. Webbsy into 12th place now. His teammate Courtney Goblin letting him go. Supportive teammate is Courtney Goblin for the Williams team, who sit 5th in the constructors right now. Could still finish in 4th, and hopefully both cars can get the job done these last 2 races and potentially walk away with a drivers' championship, which could still happen. But Webbsy needs 6 more places.
Yeah, Websy is eyeing up the McLaren of Ethan, who has had another great season. I think McLaren team has been decent scoring points when they can, but Ethan and PJ have been a very good team, I do have to say. But Ethan, he seems to struggle a little bit compared to the pace that Websy has on these new medium tyres.
Keep an eye on this battle in particular, but DRS has been deployed once again in this race, and we could see a move as Connor and Cock go side by side through turn number 5. Here comes Nicholas though, going to the left-hand side of the racetrack, making a move on Imrie as they come charging towards the left-hander at turn number 6. Grovey taking 2 places. She did that last week in Vegas. She's done it here as well. This time it's for 3rd place in the running order, and Nicholas jumps into the lead as well around Imrie for the top spot. But could Imrie come back at him, Pope? We'll see here when they get DRS once again.
I do have to say, the train behind these Aston Martins are crazy. There's so many cars in such a small space.
BJ on the outside, and there goes Che too. 3 wide. Imrie back in the lead. It's all going on here, folks.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that's going on. I think that Aston Martin's going onto that first DRS straight. They both hit the deflection point at the same time, so none of them had DRS.
Oh, wow.
How crazy is that? That's what's allowed Grovey to bolt away from both of them.
And she's now got to work her way back inside DRS range of the 2 race leaders who have pulled away a little bit here. This is probably the biggest gap we've seen for anyone leading the race all day here. These top 2 cars have been particularly strong in the opening 8 laps of this Grand Prix. So you get to lap number 9 here. And you can already see, Pope, the track is starting to get a lot darker here. We are already looking at it, because that's what we love about Abu Dhabi. That sort of evening, that dusk to night transition, if you will, of the circuit. And it really changes things as far as the complexity of the race is concerned.
Yeah, a lot of drivers try not to use shadows as your braking point, but when you're in the race, you just gotta get used to it. Where the lighting hits and then that's your marker. This doesn't help the drivers at all. It changing from dusk to night. It makes it a beautiful race, and it makes us have a nice visual. But it's really a difficult task for the drivers to keep concentrating, especially when the light gets a little bit low and it starts reflecting into the cameras and your eyes. It's not great, but it's a challenge that these drivers will have to overcome.
Definitely, we'll see who gets the best out of that challenge in particular. I see Grovey is closed in massively on the 2 leaders now. Nicholas to the outside, he held off going into turn 6, but this is going to get the lead here. Will Grovey try again? She's going to go on the outside and take Imrie. Could she take Nicholas too? It's very close to these 3 cars. We saw 3 wide at turn 9 in this race last season with almost a bit of contact. I think a bit of contact between Grovey and Imrie there. If my look at the camera angle was correct, but Imrie muscling back through on the inside. Yellow flag here, and that is Dan. Dan is around, but gets the car rolling once again in behind Arsenal fan. Websy now into the points paying places. He needs 3 more spots right now. He's almost already back here. He's got JB his next target. He's just got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. And that's the one Pope we can't take away.
Yeah, that's one that JB were not allowed to pick up this early into a race. We got 20 more actual laps around the circuit left, but I do have to say, Nicholas 40% ERS, Grovey 25% ERS, Imrie falling behind us, tyres are falling off and has no ERS to play with. That'd be crucial now for Cott, who sees that red light flashing, and red light does spell danger.
Without a single doubt in my mind at all, Pope, as Grovey closing in. Nicholas moving over to the left hand side of the racetrack there to break the toe. Very nice play indeed from the Alfa Romeo. As you see, Websy doing the same thing, sidestepping in the distance, managed to get around JB already for P9, so only needs a couple more spots now to get himself back in championship contention. But we're keeping our eyes here on Grovey, who might go for the race lead if he can get close enough to the Alfa Romeo of Nicholas. She pulls to the outside of the racetrack, going towards turn 9. Where have I seen this before? A Red Bull leading Abu Dhabi. Grovey takes the lead, and this is her first time, Pope, substantially leading an RDL race if we're discounting the time she led for a few seconds in Mexico on the final lap. Grovey, for the first time in her RDL career, leads.
Yeah, very, very good, and will be a great moment for her in that cockpit, a bit of confidence going into season 16. One thing I do want to pick up on is, as of right now, everyone from P1 to P11 is within DRS of each other.
That is incorrect on my screen. Websy is just over a second behind BJ right now. No, never mind. You are correct. It's just changed for me. Look how close it is. That's fantastic.
That is ridiculous. That train is huge, which is allowing for such action, which is obviously very hard for us to keep our eyes on, but it's so enjoyable to watch.
But when it spun off onto the grass there, Dan, and going between the last 2 corners on the circuit. But yeah, you are saying it. And the thing is, with this race, with the lack of a Grumio or a sniper, or a fan at that as well, this is the racing we get. We get a number of drivers who are as fast as each other. I put Cott in that debate. Obviously, he's won a lot of races here, but tonight he's, again, not quite as on it as he has usually been in terms of pulling away. I've got Che as well. He's pulled up the inside of the debuting Connor. A decent start so far, but he's he lagged a bit in the opening couple of laps. So I think he's okay now. So we'll keep an eye on him later on in the race. You guys who were watching on the start may have seen that. Nicholas closing back in on Grovey, but again, holding off as he did with Imri a couple of laps ago. They're just waiting for their opportunity to try and go for the lead and then keep it. Because there's no point in trying to take the lead, Pope, if you're just going to lose it a couple of seconds later.
Exactly. I think these drivers have to work together in a weird way. You have to work with other drivers that are around you just to keep your position, because P1 and 2 want to be fighting for P1 and 2 at the end of the race. They know they've got a medium tyre runner of Imri behind, so those two, though not obviously communicating, they will know to each other that let's work as a team, let's work together, and let's make this as easy as it can be for us, and let's squabble as hard as we can for the last 5 laps. That's the plan for these drivers.
So it's a theory of co-opetition, where you cooperate with your competition. A term made famous by Darrell Waltrip over in NASCAR in the 2010s and 2000s. But Grovey, yeah, as you say, it has got the right idea. As Lando gets around Cott here, Cott is dropping back here, Pope. Is there some kind of problem with Aston Martin, do you think?
One thing that I has noticed, and it was something I was going to bring up actually, is these drivers, as a driver myself, I'm a driver at heart, you obviously analyse these drivers as individuals, and everyone is so different from each other. My driving style conflicts everyone else's here. So you pick up on certain things. To me, what it looks like, Cott has gone from a very heavy qualifying setup, and it's just not paid off in the race.
That's safety car's out. That's Dan.
Safety car is out.
And this will be the prime sort of window.
Everyone will be into the pits. Yeah, everyone will be in the pits. So it'll be
the outside wall. Yellow flag.
Mediums for the hard runners, and hard tyres for the medium runners. So very interesting. What I would say is, it might not pay off now, but these people who are on the medium tyres for 8 laps might stick out on it and just hope for one more safety car and go on a soft end. I'm not too sure what I'd do in that situation. I'd probably just go and try and stick with the rest of the field, though.
I'd see, should anyone take that risk. Of course, we've seen drivers stay out, especially in the last few weeks, in an attempt to try and get some advantage on the racetrack, but it hasn't really amounted to much. Compared to fresh tyres, you don't really stand much chance, no matter how good you are, if you ask me. Grovey will lead the field in then. We see any takers who choose not to pit. Caught penalty, multiple warning. Okay, this is what we're talking about. So we've heard a bit about this in the build up to the race within Discord. A number of drivers are getting penalties here for corner cutting, just going into the pit lane. So people will be on their toes needing to clip that and send it in to the stewards so they can get those removed after the race. Yeah,
it's a shame that for those drivers, because even though they know they can get it removed, it's a bit of a confidence knocker to just get a 3 seconds out of nowhere. I've had it happen to myself before, and it's not the nicest thing to have, just because, like I say, it kind of just shakes up your race, and you're having to think a little bit differently because your penalties are reset. One thing I've noticed, obviously got 2 drivers that have stayed out, Curtis and Cottony. I'm looking at Cottony as the crucial one here, because Cottony is the teammate of our Websy.
Our Websy is P9.
Who sits P9. Without these two, P7, and Connor's ahead of him. So if those 2 pit and Connor finishes ahead, he's in P6. He's taking that championship back to Abu Dhabi, to Brazil. Sorry.
Sorry. So Connor's a reserve, but Connie Goblin isn't a reserve. He's full-time driver.
No, but Curtis and Cottony have to pit.
Oh yes, true. Oh yeah, true. So, sorry, it took me a second to realise that.
Yeah. If Curtis doesn't pit, it'll be past. I have no doubt after those tires will be screaming by the end of the race. But yeah, it's in a good position here for Websy, and I think it's good now Websy's caught up to the rest of the field, because we know what pace Websy's got. So for Websy, it's about manoeuvring through these, and I feel like these last 15 laps of racing, of green flag racing, which I assume we'll have, will be very, very aggressive.
Safety car not quite coming in just yet. We may have another lap or so before it chooses to make its move into the pit lane to get back underway. So yeah, we could be looking at about 15 laps or so, as you say. We'll have to wait and see here. Just who comes out on top, because I mean we've had a number of good contenders up here so far. Grovey leads the way right now, but Nicholas and Imri have their fair share of leading the race. Cott is down in P13 now. He has struggled massively in the pit lane, so I assume he's been held up by everyone coming in, as Cottony Goblin now into the pits. Curtis though stays out on those medium tyres. We've seen Imri do this before, I think a couple of weeks ago in Mexico. It didn't quite work out for him. Of course, he did the same thing in Vegas on that final restart. Again, didn't work out for him. But this is a much less dire situation. I see Cott is also in as well, so they're making changes here. They're going on to a fresh set of mediums. So his mediums are a lap fresher than everyone else's, as is Cottony Goblin.
Yeah, I feel like for this, you had nothing to lose. You're in P13, you're only dropping down 2 positions, and 1 lap fresher tyres do make a difference, especially around here where the tyre degradation at the end of the race will be massive. So, a very smart move there by Cup 5.
Definitely. Look at the standings now. As it stands right now, with Curtis out on the racetrack, that puts Websy in 7th place in terms of point scoring, which he'd need the fastest lap, otherwise Fan would be champion. The fastest lap is in possession right now of Imri, who sits there with 1 minute 25.905. Websy's best time, 1 minute 26.420. So a bit of work to do, but he only needs 1 more place as it stands right now. But I'm sure he likes, but preferably he'd like to take as many as he can in order to give himself the best possible chance to close going into Brazil. I mean, a victory here would put him within 8 points, perhaps even within 7 of C110P Fan. So it could happen. It could get that close.
Definitely.
You never know.
Definitely don't rule it out. Definitely don't rule it out. I mean, we've seen what happened at Vegas, how that race changed so quickly. It could very well happen here. Obviously, safety car in this lap, so it'd be Curtis leading the pack. It's been a while since Curtis has led a safety car restart, so take it in as you can, Curtis. It'll be a bit of fun here. As Grovey keeping the pack, kind of doing a second restart is how I describe this currently. Is a bit of a gap between P1 and P2 because at the end of the day, Grovey knows she is not fighting Curtis.
Even so, she'll want to try and get around Curtis for Nicholas and Imri, get around her. That'll be the main thing for Grovey to be thinking about over the next couple of laps before Curtis will no doubt peel off into the pit lane here. But he's leading them all the way around and going into that last corner now. The green flag goes back in the air. It left it a bit late, but now he's going for it. Might be trying to help his teammate go for a move into the first corner. Nicholas forced to the outside, looking to outbrake Grovey into 1 around the outside. This could be team play masterclass now for Romeo. Into turn number 2 they go. Oh, contact! Around goes Grovey, and off into the barrier she goes, and that's the race over for her.
That's such a shame. Yeah, it should have the lack of tyre temp.
And the safety car's back out.
Bit of contact and another safety car as well. Yeah, you do need a safety car after that thing. And both Red Bulls are out of this race already.
And that's Grovey's
shame
first retirement.
For the Red Bull team really not having a good day today. And like say, Grovey's first time, and Curtis played the ace of spades there. That was fantastic there by Curtis, helping his teammate now. But obviously, it's shaming how it resulted in an incident. But very, very smart teamwork there by the Alfa Romeo team.
And Imri, again, a piece of that too. Broken front wing on that Alpha Tauri. And I think Che maybe got a piece of it as well. But 3rd safety car of the night post. 3rd safety car or 2nd safety car? No,
3rd safety car.
Well, this has been an interesting one so far. We're halfway through and we have 3 safety cars, which isn't pleasant.
No, it's a lot. We kind of ran out of the things to speak about. Can't really talk about what happened after 2 corners, but you know, we'll do our best here in the commentary booth. Keeping our eyes on that championship fight, however. P6 Websy, P5 in terms of points. Definitely. Something to keep an eye out on.
As it stands right now, Websy gaining 10 points, bringing that championship gap down to 23 in the standings. But he's got to maintain that in the second half of the race, and if not, improve it. I see BJ in the pit lane here. Of course, BJ will be looking to just try and keep Websy from finishing in a spot that high in order to send the championship fans away. BJ and Imri then both into the pit lane. Both of them making wing change. I think BJ made a wing change too. Based on the animation.
Yeah, BJ did make a wing change, and obviously Imri with no front wing in desperate need of a wing change. Unlucky there for BJ because he was in a crucial spot right behind Websy to put a bit of pressure on Websy and maybe even just sealed that absolute championship for fans. So it'd be fans championship provisionally to win, but a lot of credit would have to have gone to that Mercedes there, BJ.
Mercedes still top of the Constructors' Championship. We don't discuss that much in recent races. As it stands, again, the gap's the exact same. 33 points between Mercedes and Alpine, but Williams just 3 points back from them in 3rds. Sorry, no, Alfa Romeo 3 points back in 3rd. Williams are in 4th. No, in 4th. They're 5th. My maths are terrible tonight. I don't know what's going on.
But Alpine still have a chance to win the constructors, but very hard. Obviously, no, they don't. Do they? No, they don't. They don't. I think we just settled it. I think Mercedes are our constructors champions.
Well, I'm not quite sure about that because I mean, Landlord is also. I forget
Can't
Landlord's
score
reserve,
points.
Landlord's
Can't
also
score points,
reserve,
and
so wait, I've got it wrong.
it's only thingy.
Landlord's a reserve. Yeah, there's no other Alpines in the race that can score, and I mean Alfa Romeo are running 1-2 right now with both their main drivers, so that they can still bring it on to the next round.
How many points? Alfa Romeo behind, sorry.
They're 36 behind, and right now they're scoring. I think.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
And
Oh, right.
They take the lead.
It's
right
Alfa
now.
Romeo versus. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.
What math this is from myself and Pope in the Conspots. Alfa Romeo, by our count, lead the constructors.
Confused. Yeah. Well, because I was gonna say because Alpine have only got one eligible driver to score points, I believe, in the next race, which is Grimo if they turn up. So Alpine can only finish second. However, as you mentioned, Alfa Romeo have got 2 scoring drivers, taking home
For 43 as it stands, 25.
43 points.
And they're 36 back.
43 points
by 7
stands.
as it stands.
Oh, it's gonna get tasty in Brazil, and it could even get even tastier with a drivers and constructors battle on Mercedes' hands.
Potentially, yes.
Very successful team for Mercedes. Yeah, really successful year.
But of course,
Season, should I say?
It could all go away from them in this race and the next one. BJ not scoring right now. That means Alfa Romeo take the lead as it stands with 12 laps to go in this race, and Websy sits in 4th place in terms of point scoring right now. So that brings the championship gap down to 21 in the standings. He still needs a couple more places here. If he can get on that podium, that'd help him massively. He just needs.
Oh my lord! Yeah, I've just realised. Yeah, he is P4, isn't he?
Did you also?
And then obviously
with
with Curtis.
Was not a reserve. You thought it was full time.
Yeah, and then obviously Curtis is going to have to pit. I imagine.
So that moves.
He's on the podium right now. Is Websy.
Moves Websy in terms of points into 3rd. He needs to get around Che and Nicholas in order to win it in points, and that could take the lead down to 8 points. This is all kicking off here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We still have, provided the safety car stays away, we have quite the race in our hands with 12 laps to go, and Curtis will lead us away.
I mean, I kind of, as much as I'm glad we're going to be back to green flag running, I kind of wish there was another lap. God, I've just seen a packet of crisps in my room. I really like them. Oh.
You have to wait. Yeah.
But you have to wait because this is way too exciting.
This is way tastier than any packet of Walkers that you've got sitting in your university bedroom. That's correct. Moving along.
It is correct. Don't you worry.
Moving along, Curtis is in the lead on worn mediums tyres that have seen better days, and we are 12 laps away from the checkered flag in Abu Dhabi. Green flag goes back in the air. Nicholas getting right to work here. Curtis moving over, and we'll no doubt try and back up the rest of the field in order for Nicholas to run away with it. But Websy there in 6th place, looking to move the championship on to Brazil. Here we go again.
That shows you the difference between the tyres.
Oh,
Connor!
Off the circuit.
Hit the back of Curtis. I was going to say Connor had so much more pace and overspeed compared to that Alfa Romeo. That Alfa Romeo is a brick wall right now.
Che in 2nd. He's
a brick wall which Che is just destroyed. But yeah, this is just looking horrific for the likes of Curtis, who has now got the championship contender Websy behind. But that championship contender has got a P5 contender of JB behind. Going to try and make a move.
Oh, contact. Move. And there goes Curtis wide. Websy gets on through, but JB slips in front of both of them there. JB now on the provisional podium. But quite a way off of Che and Landor, while Nicholas away to a 1.5 second lead. And that's the biggest lead anyone's had all day. As Curtis and Websy go side by side into turn 9. Very close between them. I think Websy wins this one on the outside. Yes, he does. But as it stands right now, 4th place in terms of points. You need a couple more spots.
Yeah, Websy is now pushing everything we can. I do hope Websy gets on that podium because I would love an interview with Websy after this crazy race and what could be such an important race for Websy's RDL career. But as you said, Nicholas 1.7 now ahead of Landlord. We know what pace Landlord's got. He's a champion here. Can he reel in that Alfa Romeo?
We'll have to wait and see here. Landlord's been stuck in the back for quite a while. He's got 65% ERS. It's time to shine now, Pope. Here we go with just over 10 laps to go, and Che will be hunting him down. Narrowly missed out on winning this race last season to Landlord's former teammate Grumio. So he knows the plight of chasing that combination of drivers. But Landlord looking to sort of get his mojo back after a number of reserve results this season. Websy here, as it stands, looking at it, is 1.4 seconds behind JB. Needs a couple more attempts to get himself back into that range. Of course, Che and JB both for penalties. I think both of them will be. Well, JB's one will be for track limits, and looking at it, I think Che's one might be for that corner cutting glitch in the pit lane. So I have to wait and see on that. As of right now, Websy's taking it to Brazil, but he's going to be quite a way back, so it's going to be quite a mountain to climb, especially with fan, I assume, on the games for next week's final race.
Somebody who has climbed the mountain in this race is Ethan. Fantastic currently right now, P6.
And could
in those hard tyres, the only driver. Yeah, the only driver on those hard tyres, which is a guaranteed trip to the end of the race for Ethan. So very, very good by that McLaren, who arguably could have been outshone by his teammate, but it's really showing what he could do here, as DRS is now enabled for, I think, the 4th time in this race, which is crazy.
Into the final 10 laps now of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the penultimate round of the season. Cott now back into 7th place on the inside of BJ, but BJ goes slightly back around the outside. Nice and easy. Cott went in too deep, going into the corner to re-slam on the brakes to avoid hitting the Mercedes on the way past. PJ Keller now with the time penalty sits down P13 there. He's made a stop alongside Imri, who's on fresh set of soft tyres. Might try and nick that fastest lap point back if he can, as he comes over the line here. Won't do it this time, but perhaps next time around. Che still closing the gap on Landlord, who's about 1.4 off of Nicholas right now. Websy 2 seconds behind JB as it stands. So Websy is falling away.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for the Williams. I think Websy's seen a comfortable position to be in. Or he might even see that 3-second time penalty and go, oh, it's fine, I need to just back off a little bit. No, Websy, you need to keep on pushing, you need to keep on using that pace you've shown this entire season to try and make a move past JB. But yeah, looking at Imri, who's just made a move past PJ, I think that collision with Grovey, once again, bad luck there for Imri, who just cannot seem to get this career going.
May have to give it a few weeks and wait till the start of season 16 to really get things bump started properly for him. Of course, he's had 1 or 2 flashes of pace and a decent finish here and there, but it just hasn't clicked for him over several races. Yellow flag is out, and I think that's just a slow car there, because there's no one spun. I think Conor may be going a tad bit slower, perhaps Cott there. One of the Aston Martins, which is unusual given the last 4 weeks, the pace of the Astons. Anyway, back up front, Che is still closing the gap on Landlord, and Websy is falling away quite dramatically here, Pope. The gap as it stands, now 3.3 seconds. Either JB's on charge or Websy is massively dropping back and could fall threat to Ethan in the next lap or so.
Yeah, very surprising, to be honest, from Websy. You don't really see the pace like this from him, but I think he loses a lot of time in that first sector and the last sector. I think he's got a very downforce driven setup from what it seems to be.
Well, definitely looks to be that way from where we're sitting here, but I think he's trying to close a few tenths down now, because both him and JB are closing the gap on the cars in front of them respectively. Che now is just 3 tenths behind Landlord, who is closing on Nicholas. Those 2 cars, Pope, are about to be back in DRS range for the leader, and we have a race on our hands once again. Think back to last season's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Grumio, Che and formerly Lemons going at it into turn number 9. Lemons came off the worst of it after going 3 wide, prompting then a dramatic fight between Grumio and Che to check a flag, which, oh, safety car's out. Who is that for? Virtual safety car. Who's that?
I'm not
Everyone's okay.
too sure.
Websy's coming in.
The FAA a little bit trigger happy right now. Yeah, I think Websy might even have damage of sorts, maybe. I'm not too sure, but maybe a trip onto another pair of mediums, or even risking it on softs. Ethan in. I think that's a very weird decision there by Ethan to come on in, but he's going to go on, strap on a pair of softs.
And wing change too, yes. So damage has been picked up.
That's where the damage is. Websy, which is
how much can he gain from that?
Not looking great, but still currently in provisional P6 with Cottedy behind, coming into the pits as well. Yeah, a lot of drivers are in the pits, so it's not all doom and gloom here for Websy. But hold on a second. There we are, that's the gaps. I mean, Ethan could really put up a fight like on in this race. Really could put on a fight, depending on how quick those softs get temperature. But that'd be interesting to look out and see what happens with Websy and Ethan.
In the meantime, my sources in Discord are telling me that Grovey also did lead earlier on for a while in Qatar in the mid-portion of the race and the closing stages when she was fighting with Che. So I do apologise to Grovey on my part for claiming that's the first time she's probably led a race. My memory lasts about 2 weeks and I sort of forget what's going on. I could not tell you what day it is tomorrow, Pope, to be honest. We do this every Monday and I still couldn't tell you what day it is. Anyway, Nicholas leads, 7 laps to go. And with that decision then, Pope, for the cars behind the top 6 to make changes onto soft tyres, could that prompt a call from any other teams around them? 6 different manufacturers in the top 6 right now, 7 in the top 7, 8 in the top... That's 8 different manufacturers in... No, top 9 now. This is changing very, very quickly. 9 different manufacturers in the top 10 right now. Almost everyone's scoring at this point except for Red Bull.
Red Bulls.
Which is a rarity in 2023 of all times.
Both out, yeah, I know. I was going to say, yeah, it's quite a shock to see Red Bulls not scoring.
Screenshot that.
I think it's very, very hard actually for a driver. I say for Connor, who is the closest to the soft runners. For me, I wouldn't pit. I just kind of hope for the best. You've got 6 laps, you have to make up 11 seconds. For some drivers like Grumio, who could literally close in 2+ seconds a lap on you, then you'd have to make a decision. But that's someone who is a 6-time champion here. Not everyone has the pace that Grumio does. As Connor, 10-second time penalty, just absolutely bolted over that chicane. Absolutely bolted over it, and will have to be looked at. I'm very, very confused by that.
Definitely, I think I probably pick it up, but we've seen the penalty as that is there. But Ethan, 13 seconds back, now needs to gain 3 more seconds. As is Websy. The championship, as it stands right now, narrowly is Websy into the final race and shot at the title. Only just as it stands. Landlord and Connor, the only 2 reserves in front of him. That moves Websy into the 6th position, which is what he needs to just about go and race for the title.
One thing I've noticed is Landlord has crept back into that DRS zone.
Yes.
And that red light of Nicholas flashing in front.
Connor, another penalty.
Connor, another 3 seconds. So I do believe that we're dropping down behind Websy now.
Behind Ethan, but not yet behind Websy. He needs to gain a bit of time.
So not too much to gain there for Websy at all. But yeah, that Landlord is looking like a ferocious force, as well as Che, who has more ERS than all of them.
We could see a very tight 3-way race for the leader as Nicholas takes up the DRS marker. Going around the outside is Landlord, going towards turn 9, moves clear, and there goes Che as well. Around the outside, Nicholas down to 3rd place, and Che learning his lessons and chasing down Landlord's esteemed teammate in recent seasons will now try and take on the former RDL champion for the win here in Abu Dhabi with 5 laps to go, just over 5 laps left. And not only that, but we are still looking at Websy, who sits in P8, but could that be P7 thanks to Connor's penalties at checker flag?
Yeah, I think it probably will be by the end of this race, but we never know.
Flag. And that is Connor.
It's Connor. That is Connor. It's spun round.
And that way help his
try and
case
get that car
too.
moving as quickly as possible to not get involved in any incidents, and that puts Websy into the P7 that he needs. Obviously, the Landlord, who is the leader currently, is also a reserve driver, so P6 there for Websy, as you say, that's a position he needs without the fastest lap.
And Cott's around too.
This to Brazil.
He's recovered.
Something's gone wrong with these Aston Martins.
Things have just...
Really wrong. I believe it might be setup issues with the transition of qualifying to race just not working out for the team.
We'll keep it on the
So
balance of the
fantastic
lead.
qualifying.
Che to the inside of the racetrack, taking the lead back from Landlord. Yellow flag again, that's Cott again, who seems to be struggling massively here. What is going with his Astons, Pope? As it stands, they're not going to score here. They can probably kiss goodbye those dreams of 4th place in the Constructors, which would be quite a massive margin to make up now in Brazil. Landlord to the outside of Che, looking to reclaim the lead. Nicholas has a front row seat for this battle, but he's definitely wishing Pope he can get himself involved in this. Yellow flag again, and that is Cott around. What is going on with these Aston Martin? What is Cott doing?
I'm baffled. I'm completely baffled because I don't know how a team has gone from the front 2 on the grid to the bottom 2 on the grid.
Oh, around he goes again.
Yeah, really, really struggling here. Very, very, very bizarre.
No clue what is happening to those 2 drivers here. Connor also going quite slowly for seemingly no reason. On to lap 26 here, 4 laps to go. And we can only hope these
Connor's
two...
spun it now.
You can only hope these two won't disrupt the race for the lead here, which will be the crucial thing. Webbsy's closing the gap here on Ethan. He's brought it down to within a second here, so he could get 6th place on track, which will be 5th in the running order at the checkered flag, bringing that gap down to 23 in the standings, which will make his championship chances a little bit more feasible, but still, as of right now, would need the race win in Brazil and Fan not to score in order to be champion.
Yeah, it's a very hard task. Definitely a very hard task. And
are these trying to
another Aston Martin off.
Are they trying to cause the safety cards? I can only assume that's what they're doing.
I don't really know what we can see or what, but
Landlord's closing on now.
Yeah, I don't.
He better step away.
This.
What is he doing? That is spiteful.
Wow.
And that is the end of the race for What on earth was that?
That's embarrassing. That's absolutely embarrassing for someone who has F1 in their name.
And Che and Landlord have both had this race snatched from them in the absolute cruelest of fashions. Both of them now need wing changes. Caught with a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane.
He's trying to do it again. He even tried to do it to JB, which is very brave.
And he's trying to do it again now. Around he goes, and that will spell the end.
As well. Such a shame, to be honest, and quite frankly embarrassing. And clearly you are unloved. But, you know, it's what it is. I don't think we should give this guy any more seconds of fame, and I think we should try and have a look
and
where
JB's
we
on
can.
the podium. JB in P3. Hello.
JB is in P3. Fantastic for the Ferrari. The Ferrari will be.
Oh, and Landor's staying out. He's going to try and finish the race.
Extremely happy.
When's he now in 5th?
We saw a lot of people do it in Thingy. So I would not be surprised if it works out for them.
Well, it's a very different circuit to Vegas in some respects, so we'll see if that works out for him. But could JB catch him? Connor is still going at it. He's out of the race now. That'll be it for him.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad, to be honest,
are gone.
That the silly Billy is gone.
That's for the end of his
debut. Yeah, I can't. I have to keep this PG, but I had a lot that I could say.
Definitely, there's some very James Hunt style commentary in Pope's mind at the moment. We'll keep away from that as best we can. Don't have to focus the camera on those two cars anymore. The Aston Martins are out, the Red Bulls are out, and it's quite a shocking scenario here to see. I mean, Bland's still going though, looking at 2nd place in this race. But JB, can he catch him in time? That'll be the main thing to look at.
He's gaining over a second per lap. JB is on track here. But what else has happened is BJ's now got damage, which means Webbsy's catching in a ridiculous amount.
All of a sudden,
this is looking better for Webbsy.
Well, the developments here. The Aston Martins may have really just.
It's very hard to say.
Oh, it's posted Imri and PJ here. They're going side by side. Bit of contact. Che looking at it. Trying to get back in the order. Very, very, very Daredevil-like from Che, who saves himself from the collide with the AlphaTauri and takes P8 in quite dramatic style there. That's a fantastic move there. A little bit more, perhaps a bit more contact than we might have liked, but Che now looking at PJ2. Can he get him for the checkered flag? He's got 2 laps to do it. He might get him now, to be honest. Nope, PJ with a good drive off, but keep an eye on Che here. He's not finished despite all that.
Keep an eye on Webbsy.
Oh,
Webbsy behind, very smart in the DRS detection zone.
It's close. He's got to be very careful here. Around the outside.
What's just happened? Landlord's in P1.
Landlord takes the lead. What's happened to Nicholas? What happened to Nicholas? Why is he so far? Why is he so close now?
I'm not too sure what is going on here.
We have a chaotic end to the race here, ladies and gentlemen. No, what is Nicholas? Has he got a problem of some kind? Because JB is now. These guys are weaving for some odd reason. Trying to keep tire temperatures up. Not a clue here, but all of a sudden we have a 3-car race.
Yeah, it does look like Nicholas' tire temps are low.
We have a race on our hands here.
Drivers.
We have a race on our hands and a race for Webbsy in order to try and take away positions from BJ, who's got a wing damage. Webbsy into 4th place. He's 9 seconds back. Is there any chance of him catching these guys to check a flag? Let's wait and see here. Yes. This could be a very Celtic final lap. JB in 2nd. JB could go for the lead here. This is big news. JB to the inside. JB takes the lead. Well, he's got a lap to go.
Can JB defend?
He's got 3 seconds of penalties though. Let's remember that. Here we go. Final lap. Webbsy in 4th place. That'll be 3rd on the race. That'll be 3rd off the points. And JB could be able to win a race on track. Whether he'll keep it on penalties is another thing. So I'm not sure if they'll be able to get it removed, because I think it was a check notes one earlier, a standard one. But Nicholas isn't finished yet. Here he goes. This is 2021 all over again in different cars. Madness.
This is fantastic. And it looks like Websy might even get a podium on track at this point.
In catch Lionel, but Nicholas the inside.
All is ERS. There's not really much JB can do trying to defend off a car with that much ERS and DRS.
Oh, he's got a bit too deep there.
Could he make a recovery drive?
Nicholas
going very, very slow.
Back him up.
Very smart.
DRS.
Very smart there by Nicholas.
I think that'll be all JB has left in the tank here as he tries to keep those tires tempted. But Lionel's coming back at him though, charging towards turn 9. He can't quite get in there. JB going way wide there, trying to keep up with Nicholas. And the he's worked it. He's closing. Ethan taking Websy. They're side by side there. JB almost going for it. He's looking at second, potentially. If he can finish the job. Ethan passing Websy for fourth. Those two are going at it as well. If Ethan's out on top, JB, could he try and do it in the last corner? He's going to go to the outside. This is it. Will he switch back? Nicholas holds it on the corner, and by half a car length, Nicholas wins. And Ethan narrowly beats Websy, who'll come home 4th place for points. The gap going into Brazil, 21 points. Websy will race for the RDL Season 15 Drivers' Championship. What a... that was perhaps one of the weirdest finishes I've seen all season. That was the weirdest race I've ever seen. But Nicholas just comes out on top. It's at his second RDL career victory. I'm sure we're very pleased with that. But wow. Scenes, Pope.
As much as what a crazy race, obviously there is something that is, something that really needs to be brought upon, and it's a shame that you do get people that are as unloved as that ruining the race for so many people. However, we'll take positives out of that. Fantastic end, and well done to all those drivers that finished and avoided the chaos.
Nicholas wins then. Landlord home in second after penalties and JB in third, but JB will take away second. Oh, I'm getting a message here. If I'm looking at the server here, message from JB. We'll have to take the count back to the lap 4 F1 corner, try to take everyone out.
I completely agree, to be honest.
Where does that put the championship? We'll have to look back at the stream here. Where was Websy at the moment that he started taking people out?
So he was in P8. He's in P6. He's in P6. He does take it to Brazil, I do want to say.
Of course, everything's provisional for now because of
penalties and stuff like that.
Yes, that is true.
The stewards report.
So wait and see. But as far as we're aware, Websy takes the championship to Brazil just about. Well, that was questionable, if I'm honest. As a finish to the race, I think we probably shouldn't have been entertained there as much as we were. If I'm completely honest,
I think we have to take the positives out of a situation like that. It's something that's so different in a way for us to commentate on, because, like I say, you never have that type of situation. But nonetheless, yeah, we should be very, very happy for the people that did finish and was able to perform. But I will have to say my goodbyes a little bit earlier. Obviously, a very long race with restarts and multiple safety cars, but it's been an absolute pleasure this season to commentate alongside you. I think it's my first full season.
Yes, it is, yes.
It's my first full season, and it's been a pleasure, and I've loved sitting in the booth with you, Zach. So I do appreciate everything that you've done for myself and obviously RDL as well. So as I depart, I will say thank you as well for you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll let you do the closing ceremony.
Thank you for singing,
see you in a bit, guys.
And we shall see you next season. Goodbye, mate. Well, that'll be it for Pope's time in the comms box at the end of the season. It'll be just me next week in the booth for the RDL season finale. And I'm being told we may get JB into the commentary box here just to sort of get an idea as to what is going to be going on in terms of race results. So we can perhaps get some of the race interviews going. Nicholas wins the race. Not sure where that leaves the finishing order in terms of who finishes where in the final part. Because looking at it from where I'm sitting, I believe that Landlord was in the lead at the moment of countback, which puts either Che or Nicholas into the lead and gives them the points, because Landlord will be credited with the victory in that respect. So we're getting JB in shortly to explain what's been going on. So we'll let you know when we get JB in. Here he is. Okay, JB, hello. Right, if you care so kind to explain to us what's going on.
Wait, hang on. Oh, you can hear me. Yeah.
Yep. We'll go.
So we're going to. I had a feeling that was going to happen because that guy was just a jerk. But it's not a problem because it happened late in the race. We'll take the result from the lap before. I think Landlord was leading, but he's a reserve anyway, so whoever was behind him, which I think was Nicholas, will take it. You obviously have to wait until tomorrow for confirmation about championship, whatever, but it's just a shame, but we do occasionally get these kinds of people that do exist in league race. But it's not a problem because, as I said, it happens very late in the race and we can do it quite easily.
Definitely. So yeah, apologies to everyone in the chat who was watching the end of that race. It's a shame that was ruined by the ingenious of F1 Connor. But I think Pope, he made the opinion of the guy very clear in the commentary booth a few minutes ago. But still, an ending to the race perhaps we might not have wanted in the end. But it gave us a pretty chaotic final lap. JB, you were a part of that, so we'll sort of jump into it post-interview if we can. That was a pretty crazy last lap with you, Nicholas, and Landlord.
Yeah, I think we just tried to end it with a good battle. I know Landlord was obviously missing his wing, Che had been taken out, so yeah, it was just important to sort of finish on a high really, because obviously that wasn't good to see the previous laps before, but yeah, good racing.
Still brings home a solid result. I think even counting back to the last lap based on what my stream is showing me here. Obviously, I have to look back on that to get official confirmation. But yeah, looking at it, I mean, it's still a good result for you, regardless. We say that's perhaps one of the better moments results-wise in the season.
Yeah, I felt quite confident going into this one, so I was a bit surprised that I was running so high. I think there was a collision between Websy and Curtis in the middle of the race, and everyone sort of got caught up in it, so I ended up with a big gap. But the car felt good, and now I'm quite pleased with this race in Las Vegas. I think it's 2 P4s or 5s. I don't know if BJ was close enough to me when we do the count back to get in the place, because I had a 3-second penalty, but yeah, good result.
Definitely, of course. Looking at early on in the race, so like the first half, it was like, even despite the safety cars, of course the pack was very condensed together. And I think that says a lot about about how competitive this league has become. So are we looking forward to seeing how close it'll be next season?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of guys who joined in the middle of the season who are very quick, and I think next season they can really go for it for a total challenge. And obviously there's people who are already here, like Fan, Grunio, Webcity, who are quick as well. So I think it'll be really close, and I think we'll see a lot more variety in winners next season. So yeah, it'll be good.
Definitely. And then looking into next week's race, of course, I think based on the maths me and Pope are doing midstream, the championship may just about go, both championships will go to the wire in Brazil. And looking of course for your race, the reverse group finale, of course you led that race briefly last season. Are you looking forward to going back to Brazil?
I think it's a good track for everyone really. I think a lot of people enjoy Brazil. A lot of people say it should be the finale in real life, and I agree. It's quite high downforce as well in parts, and then you obviously got the straight, which isn't, so setup will be interesting. But I think it's a good place for the finale, and I think compared with this race, it should be a lot better, and that will help us cap things off on a high.
Definitely. And it's a good thing we're not capping things off tonight, because obviously that'd be a unfortunate way to end the season. But we won't dwell on that any longer than we need to. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on the positives in tonight's race, because it was a very close race regardless. But congratulations on your finish. And we'll move on now to Nicholas, who just about crossed the line first in the end. Half a car length, Nicholas, separating you from JB. Of course, unsure in terms of points at the end given the count back, but you came across the line first. Was that a good feeling at least?
Sorry, I was
Sorry.
just distracted in the chat. I wanted to calm myself before I speak because I'm gutted. Can you repeat that, please?
So, of course, as I say, we're unsure as to what the result will be for count back. I think you should be up there, either first or second place. But in terms of on the track, you came across the line first. Only just. That final lap was quite something. How did you get through it?
Well, I was really focusing on letting Landlord through again because I have no idea what happened exactly. I was just absolutely gutted, as I said. But yeah, I just wanted to have a nice battle with JB because yeah, that's what I missed for the last laps, and I did not want to let Landlord be that back behind, so give him P2 at least. But now the results change anyway, so it doesn't matter. The race itself was pretty good. Did not expect that to Abu Dhabi because it's normally a pretty lonely track. But yeah, the racing against Che, Landlord, Imri, in the opening laps against Scott and Grovey, unluckily Grovey spun because she beached on the curb. But till that miserable end, it was a fun race. I had great pace, and yeah.
I think you may have just run over Websy for one of the longest answers in the league this season, which is always positive. Yeah, so you were up front the majority of the day there, regardless of result. Of course, I did want to ask you about that restart with you, Curtis, and Grovey. Was there team play there to try and get you into the lead as quickly as possible with you and Curtis? Is that why you stayed out?
Well, no, absolutely not. Let's say it like this: Curtis boxed in lap 4 or so. So till that moment, what lap were we in? In
So,
both restarts, I think.
15, I want to say, lap 30.
Exactly.
Around that
So he was already on 13 laps tires or something. He just couldn't get a move on. I was trying to get Grovey, but yeah, can't say anything.
Fair enough. Well, I can imagine the obviously the countback for you will be tough, especially if you don't get the 4 points after crossing the line first. But again, like with the guy earlier, we won't dwell on the negatives of the race rather than the positives, because you did drive a fantastic race, mate. It has to be said. So props to you for that.
Thank you.
Of course, looking into the final race of the season, Brazil, the reverse grid finale. You'll be starting based on my sort of readings here at the table. You'll be starting around mid-pack for that. A decent number of points, but I think should see you starting, around sort of like 5th or 6th row. Do you reckon you can try and pull that into the win?
As I have good news on my wheel, which both I'm getting on my birthday tomorrow, finally. So yeah, I have to see what the pace of my wheel will be like, and then I can say more. But Brazil is normally, as JB said, a very good track for everyone because it has like many corners and not so many straights, so you need to be a fast driver to overtake and everything. But yeah, I have to see. If it rains, that would be critical as well, because rain can always change the difficulty of a race, so did it will Buxton now.
Definitely, so we'll have to wait and see in terms of next week. But that'll cover it off for the post-race interviews, guys. So yeah, congratulations on your end results there. And thank you for giving us a very entertaining final lap that kept us going right until the flag. Me and Pope were very, very excited, so thank you for doing that for us. And we'll let you guys go enjoy the rest of the evening. So yeah, you guys have a good night and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
No worries. So that will cap things off then for our coverage here in Abu Dhabi. Official confirmation of the final results will come through hopefully in midweek or so once we get the count back, and that will then confirm whether or not Fan did in fact win the championship or whether it will go on to the final race in Brazil. It's going to be a very close one either way, so make sure not to miss next week's reverse grid finale on the 18th of December at 7 PM British time. Make sure not to miss it. I've been your host, Zach RC. Pope was Pope, he has now left us. The word of the race today is chaos. So if you've watched the stream this far, let me know what the word is down in the comments and tell me what you think of Pope's commentary as well as his singing. So until next time, you guys, I've been Zach RC. Hope you enjoyed that, and we shall see you next week for the finale of Season 15 of the Racers Driving League. Good night.